What if I told you there's a place in the heart of the conservative Gulf, where ancient Islamic traditions dance with secret nightclubs, where women drive luxury cars and designer headscarves, and where you can actually live comfortably on just $600 a month? Welcome to Bahrain, the Middle East's best-kept secret that nobody talks about, but everyone should know about. This tiny island nation sits quietly in the Persian Gulf, sandwiched between Saudi Arabia's religious restrictions and Qatar's flashy wealth. Yet somehow Bahrain has carved out its own incredible identity. While Dubai gets all the Instagram fame and everyone argues about oil money in other Gulf states, Bahrain quietly goes about being the most surprisingly livable place in the region. But here's what'll blow your mind. This country operates on a paradox that shouldn't exist. By day, it is a deeply traditional Islamic society where the call to prayer echoes through ancient souks and families gather for elaborate Friday meals. But when the sun sets, something magical happens. Hidden bars tucked away in five-star hotels come alive, underground parties pulse with international beats, and a nightlife scene emerges that would make Dubai jealous. But let's rewind for a second. Most people couldn't even point to Bahrain on a map if their life depended on it. This archipelago of 50 islands covers just 765 square kilometers. That's smaller than New York City, yet it packs more cultural surprises per square mile than countries 10 times its size. When your Uber driver in Manama speaks fluent Arabic, English, Hindi, and Tagalog, you start to realize this isn't your typical Gulf state. This is where East truly meets West, where ancient pearl divers' descendants now work as Formula One engineers, and where a conservative Muslim society somehow manages to host one of the region's as most liberal social scenes. The story of modern Bahrain reads like a masterclass in cultural evolution. For over 4,000 years, this strategic location has been the crossroads of civilizations. The Dilmun civilization once controlled trade routes between Mesopotamia and the Indus Valley. Right from these very islands, Persian, Portuguese, and British influences have all left their mark, creating a cultural cocktail that's unlike anywhere else in the Gulf. When oil was discovered in 1932, Bahrain became the first Gulf state to strike black gold. But here's the twist: they were also the first to realize it wouldn't last forever. While neighboring countries doubled down on oil dependency, Bahrain's rulers made a brilliant strategic pivot. They transformed their nation into the financial hub of the Gulf, attracting international banks, offshore companies, and a massive expat workforce. Today, walk through Manama's gleaming financial district and you'll see the fruits of that. Four-side towering glass buildings house some of the world's biggest financial institutions, while the traditional markets just blocks away still operate exactly as they did centuries ago. But what makes Bahrain truly unique isn't its economic diversification or strategic location. It is how seamlessly traditional and modern coexist every morning. As the sun rises over Manama Bay, you witness this fascinating daily transformation. Business executives in perfectly pressed suits share elevators with men in traditional thobes, heading to the same meetings. Women in designer heels and flowing abayas navigate boardrooms with the same confidence as their Western counterparts. This is intolerance forced by government policy. It is a natural evolution of a society that has been mixing cultures for millennia. The rhythm of daily life here follows patterns that would seem impossible anywhere else in the Gulf. Families wake up before dawn during Ramadan, share pre-fast meals that blend Pakistani biryanis with Lebanese mez and traditional Bahraini fish curry. After morning prayers, these same families might spend their day at international schools where children speak 3 languages before age 10. Then evening hours at shopping malls that wouldn't look out of place in London or Singapore. What strikes you immediately about Bahraini culture is how family-centric everything remains despite rapid modernization. Extended families of 20 or 30 people regularly gather for weekend meals that stretch for hours. The hospitality here isn't just cultural politeness. It has a genuine warmth that makes strangers feel like long-lost relatives within minutes of meeting. Ask anyone for directions, and you likely end up invited for coffee and a 2-hour conversation about everything, from local politics to the best fishing spots around the island. This hospitality extends to how locals interact with the massive expat community. Nearly half of Bahrain's population consists of foreign workers, from Filipino nurses to British financial analysts to Indian engineers. Rather than creating cultural tensions, this diversity has enriched local traditions. You'll find Pakistani families celebrating Eid alongside Bahraini neighbors, while British expats learn Arabic, calligraphy from local artists. The result is a social fabric that is both deeply rooted in Islamic values and genuinely international in outlook. Language here tells its own story of cultural fusion. While Arabic remains the official language, English is so widely spoken that you can navigate everything from government offices to traditional markets without knowing a single Arabic word. But listen carefully to conversations, and you'll hear this beautiful linguistic mixing: Bahraini Arabic peppered with English business terms, Hindi expressions, and Persian poetry. It's not unusual to hear someone switch between four languages in a single sentence, and somehow everyone understands perfectly. The call to prayer punctuates each day with its haunting melody, echoing from hundreds of mosques across the islands. Even in the most modern districts, business meetings pause for prayer times, and the sight of construction workers unrolling prayer rugs next to skyscrapers is completely normal. But what is remarkable is how this religious observance coexists with Bahrain's reputation as the Gulf's most socially liberal state. The same shopping mall that houses designer boutiques and international coffee chains also has beautifully decorated prayer rooms that fill 5 times daily. Speaking of daily rhythms, let us talk about something that will make your mouth water: the food scene that nobody outside the Gulf knows about. Bahrain's culinary landscape reflects its position as a cultural crossroads, and the result is absolutely mind-blowing. The national dish, makbuz, perfectly represents this fusion approach. At its heart, it is a traditional rice dish that looks simple but contains layers of flavor that take years to master. Authentic makbuz starts with aged basmati rice that's been soaked until each grain reaches perfect tenderness. The magic happens in the spice blend, a secret combination that varies from family to family, but typically includes cardamom, cinnamon, turmeric, and dry lime that creates an aroma so intoxicating you can smell it blocks away when families start cooking for Friday dinner. The rice gets layered with either fresh hammerfish caught in Gulf waters or tender lamb that has been slow-cooked with caramelized onions until it falls apart at the touch of a fork. But here's where it gets interesting. Each family guards their makbuz recipe like state secrets. The spice ratios, the cooking techniques, even the type of pot used can spark passionate debates between Bahraini grandmothers. Some families add rose water for floral notes, others include saffron that turns the rice golden, and a few controversial rebels even add almonds or raisins. That traditionalist claim is absolute heresy. The result is that no two makbuz dishes taste exactly alike, making every invitation to a family meal an adventure in culinary discovery. Beyond makbuz, Bahrain's location has created a seafood paradise that rivals anything you'll find in coastal cities worldwide. The shallow waters around the islands teem with hammer, kingfish, and prawns that local fishermen still catch using traditional methods, passed down through generations. Walk through Manama's fish market at dawn, and you'll see the night's catch displayed on ice, fish so fresh they were swimming in Gulf waters just hours earlier. Traditional restaurants like Al Abraj and Haji's Cafe serve grilled fish that's been marinated in turmeric, garlic, and lime, then cooked over charcoal fires that fill the air with aromatic smoke. The fish arrives at your table still sizzling, accompanied by freshly baked Arabic bread and spicy tomato sauce that locals swear cures everything, from heartbreak to hangovers. A meal like this, enough to feed 3 people, costs around 3 Bahraini diners. That's less than $8. But Bahrain's food scene extends far beyond traditional cuisine. The expat population has imported culinary traditions from dozens of countries, creating a dining landscape that's surprisingly international. Filipino restaurants serve adobo and lumpia that taste exactly like Manila versions. Lebanese cafes prepare shawarma and kibbeh using recipes imported directly from Beirut. Indian restaurants offer everything from South Indian dosas to North Indian tandoori, that satisfies homesick expats and curious locals alike. The coffee culture here deserves special mention because it perfectly illustrates how Bahrain balances tradition with modernity. Traditional Arabic coffee, served in small cups with dates, remains an essential part of hospitality. But walk through any Manama neighborhood, and you'll find dozens of modern cafes serving everything from Ethiopian single-origin pour-overs to Instagram-worthy matcha lattes. These cafes become social hubs where young Bahrainis gather to study, work on laptops, or simply catch up with friends over elaborate coffee presentations that take longer to prepare. Then drink. Shisha lounges add another layer to the social scene. These are the touristy hookup bars you might find elsewhere. They raise sophisticated spaces where families gather, business deals get discussed, and friendships develop over shared pipes of apple or mint-flavored tobacco. The ritual of preparing and sharing shisha creates a uniquely Middle Eastern form of socializing that slows down time and encourages genuine conversation in an increasingly fast-paced world. For budget-conscious residents, the local food scene offers incredible value. Street vendors serve fresh falafel sandwiches for less than $1, while small family-run restaurants offer full meals that cost less than a coffee at Starbucks. The Manama souk, with its narrow alleyways and traditional architecture, houses dozens of small eateries where you can sample authentic Bahraini cuisine without spending more than $5 for a feast. But here's where Bahrain really starts to surprise you. Let us talk about the women, who are quietly revolutionizing this conservative society. While headlines about womenist rights in the Gulf usually focus on Saudi Arabia's reforms or UAE's progressive policies, Bahrain has been quietly operating as one of the most gender-progressive societies in the region. For decades, Bahraini women didn't just get the right to drive, they've even been behind the wheel for generations. They didn't just enter the workforce recently, they've been doctors, teachers, and business owners since the 1970s. Today, women make up over 35% of Bahrain's workforce, including senior positions in banking, healthcare, and government that would be unthinkable in neighboring countries. Walk into any major corporation in Manama, and you'll likely find women in leadership roles who seamlessly blend professional ambition with traditional family values. What's fascinating is how these women navigate cultural expectations while pursuing modern careers. Many wear traditional hijab or abaya by choice, not requirement, viewing it as cultural identity rather than religious obligation. During business meetings, you'll see women in elegant headscarves discussing multi-million-dollar deals with the same authority as their male counterparts. After work, these same women might attend evening university classes, volunteer at charitable organizations, or meet friends at sophisticated cafes that stay open until midnight. The education statistics tell an incredible story about Bahraini women's ambitions. Over 60% of university graduates are female, and women consistently outperform men in fields like medicine, engineering, and finance. The University of Bahrain's medical school has more female students than male, while the banking sector actively recruits women for their reputation as detail-oriented and relationship-focused professionals. But perhaps most remarkably, Bahraini women have redefined what it means to balance tradition with modernity. They maintain close family relationships, often living with extended family until marriage and remaining primary caregivers for elderly parents. Yet they also travel internationally for business, pursue advanced degrees, and start their own companies at rates that exceed many Western countries. The social life of young Bahraini women reveals how dramatically this society has evolved. Groups of female friends regularly meet at upscale restaurants, attend cultural events, and travel together both domestically and internationally. Shopping malls become social hubs where women gather not just for retail therapy, but for genuine socializing over elaborate coffee presentations and fusion cuisine that blends Middle Eastern and international flavors. Dating culture has evolved in fascinating ways that respect traditional values while accommodating modern realities. While arranged marriages still occur, they're increasingly rare, especially among educated families. Instead, young Bahrainis meet through university, work, or family connections. then navigate courtship processes that blend traditional respect for family approval with personal choice. Social media plays a huge role, with Instagram and Snapchat becoming platforms for subtle flirtation and relationship building. That would have been impossible just a generation ago. The result is a generation of Bahraini women who are confident, educated, and ambitious while remaining deeply connected to family and cultural traditions. They were not rejecting their heritage to embrace modernity, they were creating a new model that honors both. Comment below if you think this balance between tradition and progress could work in other countries, because what's happening in Bahrain might be a glimpse of the future for the entire region. But now, let us talk about something that will really shock you: the hidden nightlife scene that exists in this supposedly conservative Muslim country. When the sun sets over Manama Bay and the evening call to prayer fades, a completely different Bahrain emerges from the shadows. This transformation is so dramatic, you'd think you've been transported to a different country entirely. The secret lies in Bahrain's unique interpretation of Islamic law and its pragmatic approach to governing a diverse population. While alcohol is technically regulated, the government issues licenses to hotels and private clubs, creating legal spaces where people can drink and socialize in environments that respect local sensibilities while accommodating international residents and visitors. Five-star hotels become the epicenter of this hidden world. The Ritz-Carlton's Primavera restaurant transforms into an elegant bar scene, where business executives unwind over premium whiskey and craft cocktails that would impress bartenders in London or New York. The Four Seasons houses multiple lounges where live jazz accompanies conversations in a dozen languages, creating an atmosphere that's both sophisticated and genuinely international. But the real surprise is the underground club scene that operates with tacit approval from authorities who understand that Bahrain's economic success depends on keeping expat residents happy. Venues like JJ's and Spin operate as membership clubs, creating exclusive environments where international residents can party exactly like they would in any major city worldwide. These aren't sleazy tourist traps, they're professionally run establishments with world-class sound systems, imported DJs, and crowds that include everyone from Filipino nurses celebrating paydays to British bankers closing million-dollar deals. The most fascinating aspect is how locals participate in this scene while maintaining respect for cultural boundaries. Young Bahrainis frequent these venues, but they navigate the experience with cultural awareness that impresses everyone. They might skip alcohol while dancing to the same music as their expat friends, or leave before traditional curfew times that respect family expectations. It's a delicate balance that works because everyone understands the unspoken rules. Weekend parties in private villas have become legendary among the expat community. These gatherings, often organized through WhatsApp groups and word-of-mouth networks, can host hundreds of people from dozens of countries. Pool parties during winter months feature DJ sets that last until dawn, elaborate BBQ spreads that blend American grilling with Middle Eastern spices, and guest lists that read like international who's who directories of professionals working in the Gulf. The Formula One Grand Prix weekend transforms Bahrain into a party destination that rivals Monaco or Singapore. The official events draw celebrities and international visitors, but the real action happens at hundreds of private parties across the islands. Hotels book out months in advance. Private beach clubs host events that cost thousands of dollars per ticket, and the normally quiet island buzzes with energy that lasts for weeks. What makes this nightlife scene particularly remarkable is how it operates alongside traditional social activities without creating conflict. The same weekend might feature both underground electronic music parties and traditional wedding celebrations that last 3 days. Young Bahrainis seamlessly move between both worlds, respecting family obligations during traditional events, while enjoying international social experiences with friends from around the world. Restaurant culture plays a huge role in this social evolution. Establishments like Masa and Café Lulu operate as sophisticated dining venues by day and social hotspots by night. These spaces create environments where alcohol service feels natural rather than rebellious, where international cuisine meets local hospitality. and where people from different cultural backgrounds genuinely connect over shared experiences. Rather than just professional networking, the beach club scene deserves special attention because it represents everything unique about Bahrain's approach to modern social life. Private resorts like the Ritz-Carlton Beach Club and Al Bandar Resort create spaces where international residents can enjoy pool parties, beachside dining, and social activities that would be completely normal in Miami or Ibiza, but happen to exist in the heart of the conservative Gulf. But this isn't just about partying, it's about creating community among people who've moved thousands of miles from home to build careers in an unfamiliar culture. These social spaces become support networks, where Filipino healthcare workers meet British financial analysts, where Indian engineers connect with American oil industry professionals, and where genuine friendships develop across cultural and professional boundaries. The safety aspect cannot be overstated. Unlike nightlife scenes in many countries, Bahrain's party culture operates with remarkable security and respect. Women feel completely safe walking alone at night in entertainment districts. Police maintain visible but non-intrusive presence, and the social scenes operate with mutual respect. That creates inclusive environments rather than exclusive clubs. Now, let's talk about the festivals and celebrations that showcase how Bahrain blends Islamic traditions with international entertainment. The annual calendar reveals a society that honors religious observances while embracing global cultural events in ways that create unique experiences you won't find anywhere else in the world. Ramadan in Bahrain transforms the entire country into something magical. While neighboring Gulf states can feel restrictive during the holy month, Bahrain manages to maintain its spiritual focus while accommodating international residents who aren't observing the fast. Hotels and restaurants create discreet dining areas for non-Muslims, while traditional iftar gatherings become community celebrations that welcome people from all backgrounds. The pre-dawn suhoor meals become family affairs that stretch for hours. Extended families gather at 3 a.m. to share elaborate spreads that blend traditional Bahraini dishes with international cuisine reflecting the family as global experiences. These meals aren't just about food, they raise storytelling sessions, where older generations share memories of Bahrain's transformation, while younger family members discuss their plans for studying abroad or starting new businesses. Evening iftar celebrations reveal the true spirit of Bahraini hospitality. Families regularly invite neighbors, colleagues, and even strangers to break fast together, creating dinner parties that might include a Bahraini grandmother, Filipino domestic workers, British expat families, and Pakistani business partners all sharing the same table. The conversations blend Arabic, English, and whatever other languages people speak, while the food represents culinary traditions from around the world. Eid celebrations showcase Bahrain's ability to honor Islamic traditions, while creating inclusive community events. The traditional prayers at sunrise fill massive parks and sports stadiums, creating scenes of thousands of families dressed in their finest clothing, gathered for spiritual observance. But the celebrations extend for days, with family visits, elaborate meals, and gift-giving traditions that welcome participation from non-Muslim friends and neighbors. Children receive money gifts called idea not just from family members, but from family friends, regardless of their religious background. Shopping malls decorate with elegant Islamic art while hosting entertainment. That includes traditional Arabic music alongside international performers. The result is cultural celebration that maintains its spiritual significance, while creating inclusive community experiences. The Formula One Grand Prix represents Bahrain's crown jewel of international events. For one weekend each year, this tiny island becomes the center of the motorsport world, attracting celebrities, international media, and racing fans from dozens of countries. But what makes the Bahrain Grand Prix special isn't just the racing. It is how the country transforms the event into a cultural celebration that showcases everything unique about their society. The Bahrain International Circuit hosts not just the race, but elaborate concerts featuring international artists, cultural exhibitions that showcase local artisans, and food festivals that represent the diverse culinary scene. Families attend together, with special sections for women and children that respect cultural sensitivities. while ensuring everyone can participate in the excitement. Off-track entertainment includes traditional pearl diving demonstrations, camel racing exhibitions, and falconry displays that educate international visitors about Bahraini heritage. But you'll also find DJ sets, international food trucks, and entertainment that could exist at any major sporting event worldwide. The combination creates uniquely Bahraini experiences that honor tradition, while embracing global culture. The economic impact of Grand Prix weekend reveals Bahrain's strategic thinking about cultural events. Hotels across the islands book out completely. Restaurants create special menus that blend racing themes with local cuisine. And small businesses from car rental agencies to tour operators see months' worth of revenue in a single weekend. But more importantly, the event showcases Bahrain's capabilities as an international destination to global audiences who might never have considered visiting otherwise. Pearl diving heritage festivals throughout the year celebrate Bahrain's historical foundation, while creating educational experiences for younger generations who grew up in the oil economy. These events feature traditional boats, diving demonstrations, and storytelling sessions where elderly pearl divers share memories of the industry that built Bahrain's original wealth. International residents often participate as enthusiastic learners, creating cultural exchange opportunities that strengthen community bonds. Religious and cultural festivals from other traditions also find welcoming spaces in Bahrain. Diwali celebrations in Indian community centers attract participation from local families curious about Hindu traditions. Christmas events at international schools become community gatherings that include Muslim families who enjoy the festive atmosphere even if they don't celebrate religiously. Chinese New Year festivities in expat communities create educational opportunities for local families to learn about different cultural traditions. Now, let us address the big question everyone is probably thinking. Can you really live comfortably on $600 a month in Bahrain? And what does that lifestyle actually look like? The answer is more complicated and more interesting than you might expect, because cost of living here operates on multiple tiers that reflect the country's diverse population and economic structure. For single professionals willing to live modestly, $600 monthly is absolutely achievable, but it requires strategic choices that actually enhance rather than limit your Bahraini experience. The key is understanding how locals and long-term expats manage expenses through community networks and cultural knowledge that guidebooks never mention. Housing represents the biggest expense and the most important decision for budget-conscious residents. Sharing apartments or small villas with other expats can reduce rent to $150 to $200 Bahraini. Diners monthly about $400 to $530. But location choice dramatically affects both costs and lifestyle quality. Areas like Jufair and Adlia attract international residents but command premium prices, while neighborhoods like Isa Town or Samabad offer authentic local experiences at fraction of the cost. Sharing accommodation with other professionals creates built-in social networks that prove invaluable for newcomers. Filipino nurses, Indian engineers, Pakistani teachers, and Western business analysts often become housemates who share not just expenses, but cultural knowledge, language skills, and professional connections that open opportunities impossible to access independently. These living arrangements frequently evolve into lifelong friendships that span continents as people eventually relocate to different countries. Food expenses offer the greatest potential for both savings and cultural immersion. Learning to shop like locals opens up incredible savings opportunities and cultural experiences. Traditional markets like Manama souk offer fresh produce, spices, and ingredients at prices that seem almost absurdly cheap compared to Western standards. Building relationships with vendors leads to better prices, cooking tips, and invitations to family celebrations that provide authentic cultural experiences money can't buy. Transportation costs remain remarkably reasonable for a Gulf country. Public buses connect all major areas for minimal fees, while taxi services through ride-sharing apps cost significantly less than similar services in Western cities. Many expat residents manage without personal vehicles, using combinations of walking, buses, and occasional taxis that total less than 30 dinars monthly for transportation. The social cost of living reveals interesting economic dynamics that affect budget planning. Entertainment expenses can range from practically nothing to hundreds of dinars monthly, depending on lifestyle choices, beach access, cultural sites, and many community events are free or extremely affordable, while international dining and hotel nightlife can quickly consume entire monthly budgets. Healthcare costs present one of Bahrain's biggest advantages for budget-conscious residents. The public healthcare system provides excellent medical services at minimal cost, while private healthcare remains affordable compared to Western standards. Many employers provide comprehensive health insurance, but even without coverage, medical expenses rarely become financial catastrophes that bankrupt families. Utility costs for shared accommodations typically total 20 to 40 dinars monthly per person, including electricity, water, and internet service that's faster and more reliable than many Western countries. Air conditioning during summer months increases electricity bills, but building designs and cultural adaptations like afternoon rest periods help manage energy consumption naturally. The social economy offers numerous opportunities for free or low-cost entertainment that enhance rather than strain budgets. Community centers host regular events, cultural festivals provide entertainment and education, and beach access remains free across most of the island. Building friendships within expat communities creates social networks, where entertainment often involves potluck dinners, home gatherings, and group activities that cost practically nothing while providing genuine cultural exchange. Part-time work opportunities exist for skilled professionals willing to offer tutoring, translation, or consulting services during evenings and weekends. English language tutoring, in particular, commands good rates from local families eager to improve their children's international prospects. These opportunities provide both additional income and deeper cultural integration. Through regular interaction with Bahraini families, the reality of living on $600 monthly requires embracing lifestyle changes that often prove more enriching than restrictive. Cooking at home becomes an opportunity to learn traditional recipes from housemates and neighbors. Using public transportation creates chances for conversations with locals that provide cultural insights impossible to gain otherwise. Shopping at traditional markets offers language practice and relationship building that enriches daily life beyond mere cost savings. Seasonal budget management becomes important because summer months increase electricity costs while winter months offer more outdoor entertainment options. Religious holidays like Ramadan and Eid create opportunities for community celebrations that provide elaborate meals and entertainment at no personal cost, while international holidays might require budget adjustments for celebration expenses or family communication costs. The psychological aspects of budget living in Bahrain often surprise newcomers. The combination of warm climate, friendly culture, and diverse community creates lifestyle satisfaction that doesn't correlate directly with spending levels. Many budget-conscious expats report higher life satisfaction than they experienced in their home countries despite significantly lower incomes, largely due to stronger social connections and reduced daily stress. Getting around Bahrain reveals how this small island nation has created transportation infrastructure that serves both local needs and international standards. The country's compact size makes everything accessible, but the transportation options reflect the cultural diversity and economic realities of the population in fascinating ways. The King Fahd Causeway stands as one of the world's most remarkable engineering achievements and a crucial lifeline for Bahrain's economy and social life. This 25-kilometer bridge connecting Bahrain to Saudi Arabia carries far more than just vehicles. It transports cultures, economies, and relationships that define modern Gulf life. Every weekend, hundreds of thousands of Saudi families cross into Bahrain for shopping, dining, and entertainment experiences unavailable in their home country. The causeway journey itself offers spectacular views of turquoise Gulf waters and serves as a visible symbol of how Bahrain balances independence with regional integration. Crossing times vary dramatically based on Saudi weekend schedules, religious holidays, and seasonal patterns. but the experience provides fascinating glimpses into Gulf social dynamics as families from both countries interact during border processing. For Saudi visitors, Bahrain represents freedom and diversity that transforms their weekend experiences. Shopping malls that stay open during prayer times, restaurants serving alcohol, and entertainment options from cinema to live music create opportunities unavailable at home. This influx of visitors supports thousands of Bahraini jobs and contributes significantly to the local economy. While cultural exchange enriches both societies, public transportation within Bahrain operates efficiently despite limited coverage compared to larger countries. Air-conditioned buses connect major residential areas with business districts, shopping centers, and educational institutions at remarkably low costs. The bus system serves primarily South Asian expat workers, creating mobile communities where passengers share job information, housing tips, and cultural news during daily commutes. Ride-sharing services have revolutionized transportation for middle-income residents and international expats. Apps like Kareem and Uber operate extensively with drivers representing dozens of nationalities, turning taxi rides into cultural exchange opportunities. Conversations with Pakistani taxi drivers often include discussions of cricket matches, political developments, and family stories spanning continents. Filipino drivers share experiences of working abroad, family responsibilities, and dreams of eventual repatriation. The taxi driver community itself reflects Bahrain's international character. Many drivers hold university degrees from their home countries, but work in transportation while pursuing visa requirements for professional positions, studying English, or supporting families abroad. These conversations provide insights into global migration patterns and economic realities that statistics alone cannot convey. Traffic jams occur during peak hours, but commute times rarely exceed 30 minutes anywhere on the island. Parking availability and road maintenance quality exceeds standards in many larger, wealthier cities. Driving culture reflects the international population's diverse backgrounds and creates interesting road dynamics. British expats bring roundabout expertise to intersections designed by British engineers decades ago. Indian and Pakistani drivers navigate with aggressive confidence developed on subcontinental roads. Filipino professionals drive with careful precision. That contrasts sharply with local speed preferences. The result is controlled chaos that somehow functions efficiently. Walking culture varies dramatically by neighborhood and reflects economic and cultural divisions within society. Affluent areas like Diplomatic Quarter feature sidewalks, landscaping, and pedestrian-friendly design that encourages walking and outdoor activities. Working-class neighborhoods often lack pedestrian infrastructure, making walking challenging and reinforcing transportation inequalities. The marina and waterfront areas showcase Bahrain's potential for pedestrian-friendly development. Evening walks along Manama Bay provide stunning skyline views while connecting cultural sites, shopping areas, and residential districts. These waterfront paths become social spaces where families gather, couples walk hand in hand, and children play in playgrounds that overlook yacht-filled harbors. Bicycle culture remains limited, but growing, particularly among expat communities familiar with cycling infrastructure from their home countries. Some residential compounds and hotel complexes provide bicycles for short-distance transportation, while entrepreneurs have launched bike-sharing programs targeting tourists and health-conscious residents. Airport connections reveal Bahrain's strategic importance as a Gulf aviation hub. Bahrain International Airport serves as a regional gateway with connections to destinations worldwide, while the national carrier Gulf Air maintains its headquarters and primary hub operations on the island. The airport's compact size means immigration and baggage processes typically take less than 30 minutes, making business travel remarkably efficient. Regional connectivity extends beyond aviation to maritime transportation. Traditional dhows still operate between Bahrain and neighboring countries, carrying both cargo and passengers who prefer sea travel. These boats maintain cultural connections to maritime heritage, while serving practical transportation needs for workers and traders moving between Gulf countries. The infrastructure supporting all this transportation reflects careful urban planning. that accommodates growth while preserving character. Road networks connect seamlessly with residential developments. Business districts remain accessible from multiple directions, and public facilities like hospitals and schools are positioned for efficient access regardless of transportation mode. Now let us explore the attractions and landmarks that make Bahrain a fascinating destination for residents and visitors alike. These sites tell the story of a country that honors its ancient heritage while embracing modern development, creating experiences that satisfy history buffs and Instagram enthusiasts equally. The Tree of Life stands as Bahrain's most mysterious and beloved natural wonder. This 400-year-old mesquite tree grows alone in the southern desert, thriving in sandy soil with no apparent water source and no other vegetation for miles in any direction. Scientists have proposed various theories about underground springs or deep root systems, but locals prefer more mystical explanations that connect the tree to spiritual forces and ancient legends. Visiting the Tree of Life becomes a pilgrimage that reveals Bahrain's relationship with its natural environment. The journey requires driving through landscapes that showcase the island's geological diversity, from urban developments through agricultural areas to true desert conditions. The tree itself appears suddenly as travelers crest a small hill, creating a visual impact that photos cannot adequately capture. The site attracts visitors from around the world who come seeking everything from scientific understanding to spiritual inspiration. Local families use the area for desert camping trips that connect children with traditional Bedouin culture. International tourists arrive seeking Instagram-worthy photos, but often leave with deeper appreciation for natural resilience and environmental adaptation. Bahrain Fort, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, offers tangible connections to civilizations that control Gulf trade routes for millennia. The fort's strategic position overlooking Manama Bay provided ideal defensive positioning while facilitating commerce between maritime and overland trade networks. Archaeological excavations have revealed layers of human habitation dating back over 4,000 years. The fort's museum presents artifacts and interpretive displays that bring ancient civilizations to life through pottery, jewelry, weapons, and tools that reveal daily life patterns across centuries. Interactive exhibits help visitors understand how Dilmun merchants manage trade relationships, spanning from Mesopotamia to India, while architectural elements demonstrate construction techniques adapted to local climate and materials. Walking through the fort's restored sections provides visceral connections to historical events that shaped the entire Gulf region. The Portuguese chapel, Ottoman modifications, and British colonial additions create architectural timelines that illustrate changing power structures and cultural influences. Sunset visits offer spectacular photography opportunities while creating contemplative moments that connect present-day visitors with centuries of human experience. Manama Souk represents the beating heart of traditional commerce and cultural exchange that continues to thrive despite modern shopping alternatives. The narrow alleyways buzz with activity as vendors hawk everything from traditional perfumes and spices to modern electronics and fashion accessories. The sensory experience overwhelms newcomers. Arabic music mixing with multiple languages, aromatic spices competing with frankincense, visual displays of colorful textiles and gleaming jewelry. Navigating the souk requires cultural sensitivity and bargaining skills that transform shopping into social interaction. Vendors expect negotiation and often engage customers in lengthy conversations about family, travel experiences, and cultural differences while discussing prices. These interactions provide authentic cultural exchange opportunities that build understanding and friendship beyond mere commercial transactions. The souk's traditional architecture creates microclimates that provide relief from Bahrain's heat while maintaining authentic atmospheric conditions. Covered walkways, strategic ventilation, and building orientations demonstrate engineering solutions developed over centuries to create comfortable environments using natural cooling techniques rather than modern air conditioning systems. Traditional crafts workshops within the souk preserve skills that connect modern Bahrain with its artisanal heritage. Goldsmiths create intricate jewelry using techniques passed down through generations, while textile merchants display fabrics that represent traditions from across the Islamic world. These craftspeople often welcome visitors interested in learning about their techniques. And cultural significance. The National Museum showcases Bahrain's cultural evolution through expertly curated exhibits that combine archaeological discoveries with contemporary artistic expressions. The building itself represents modern Islamic architecture adapted to local climate conditions, while interior spaces create contemplative environments for learning and reflection. Museum. Collections span from Dilmun civilization artifacts to contemporary art installations that explore modern Bahraini identity. Interactive displays help visitors understand pearl diving techniques, traditional boat building, and archaeological methods used to uncover ancient settlements. Contemporary art sections feature works by local and regional artists who explore themes of cultural change, international migration, and identity formation. The museum's educational programs bring together local school groups, international residents, and tourists in shared learning experiences that strengthen community connections while preserving cultural knowledge. Regular lectures, workshops, and temporary exhibitions ensure that the museum remains dynamic rather than merely preserving static historical displays. Al-Fatih Grand Mosque demonstrates how religious architecture can create inclusive spiritual experiences while maintaining authentic Islamic design principles. The mosque welcomes non-Muslim visitors for guided tours that explain Islamic practices, architectural significance, and cultural traditions in respectful, educational presentations. The mosque's interior spaces create profound spiritual atmospheres through careful attention to acoustics, lighting, and spatial relationships. The prayer hall accommodates thousands of worshippers, while maintaining intimate feelings appropriate for personal reflection and community worship. Architectural details demonstrate how Islamic geometric patterns and calligraphy create visual experiences that support spiritual contemplation. Educational programs at the mosque foster interfaith understanding and cultural bridge building between Bahrain's diverse religious communities. Regular presentations welcome questions about Islamic beliefs, practices, and cultural traditions while encouraging respectful dialogue about religious differences and similarities. Our islands, accessible by boat from the main island, offer pristine natural environments that showcase Bahrain's marine biodiversity and conservation efforts. These protected islands serve as nesting grounds for endangered bird species, while supporting coral reef ecosystems that attract diving and snorkeling enthusiasts from around the world. Island visits provide escape from urban environments, while offering educational opportunities about environmental conservation and sustainable tourism. Traditional fishing demonstrations connect visitors with maritime heritage, while guided nature walks reveal plant and animal species adapted to Gulf coastal conditions. The Royal Golf Club creates recreational opportunities that blend international sporting standards with local hospitality traditions. The championship course attracts golfers from across the Gulf region while providing social spaces where business relationships develop alongside sporting activities. These attractions work together to create comprehensive experiences that satisfy diverse interests, while strengthening connections between residents, visitors, and local culture. Whether seeking historical understanding, spiritual reflection, natural beauty, or recreational activities, Bahrain's attractions offer authentic experiences that respect tradition, while embracing contemporary needs. Safety and security in Bahrain consistently surprise newcomers who arrive with preconceptions about Middle Eastern stability and social conditions. This small island nation maintains some of the lowest crime rates globally, while creating environments where residents feel genuinely secure regardless of gender, nationality, or economic status. Violent crime remains remarkably rare, with most incidents involving domestic disputes rather than random violence targeting residents or visitors. Property crime exists, but occurs at levels significantly lower than most Western cities, while serious crimes like armed robbery or assault make headlines precisely because of their unusual nature in Bahraini society. Women's safety deserves special attention because it challenges stereotypes about gender security. In Islamic countries, female residents, both local and international, regularly walk alone at night in entertainment districts, business areas, and residential neighborhoods without experiencing harassment or feeling threatened. This safety extends to public transportation, shopping areas, and social venues where women participate freely without male escorts or special protection measures. The cultural factors contributing to this safety environment reflect deep-rooted social values and effective law enforcement approaches. Bahraini society emphasizes respect for family honor and community reputation, creating social pressure against behaviors that threaten public order or individual safety. Religious teachings reinforce these cultural values while promoting community responsibility for mutual protection and assistance. Law enforcement operates with professional standards and cultural sensitivity that build trust, rather than fear within communities. Police officers typically speak multiple languages, understand cultural diversity issues, and respond to incidents with approaches that respect local customs while maintaining order. Community policing programs connect officers with neighborhood leaders to address concerns before they escalate into serious problems. Healthcare quality in Bahrain rivals services available in much wealthier countries, while remaining accessible to residents across economic levels. The public healthcare system provides comprehensive medical services through modern facilities, staffed by internationally trained physicians and nurses. Private healthcare options offer additional choices without creating dramatic quality gaps that exclude lower-income residents. The Salmania Medical Complex serves as the country's primary public hospital, offering emergency services, specialized treatments, and surgical procedures using equipment and techniques that meet international standards. Wait times for non-emergency services remain reasonable compared to public healthcare systems in many developed countries, while emergency care operates with efficiency that consistently receives positive evaluations from international health organizations. International medical staff bring expertise from leading hospitals worldwide, while contributing to knowledge transfer that strengthens local healthcare capabilities. Physicians from India, Pakistan, Philippines, Western Europe, and North America work alongside Bahraini medical professionals, creating multicultural healthcare teams that serve the diverse patient population effectively. Pharmaceutical services operate through both public and private systems that ensure medication availability while controlling costs. Most prescription medications remain available at prices significantly lower than Western countries, while over-the-counter medicines and medical supplies are widely accessible through pharmacies staffed by trained professionals. Mental health services have expanded significantly in recent years, as Bahraini society recognizes psychological wellness as essential for community health. Both public and private counseling services operate with cultural sensitivity that respects traditional approaches to emotional difficulties, while incorporating modern therapeutic techniques. Educational opportunities in Bahrain create pathways for personal development that serve both local and international residents. The public education system operates in Arabic while maintaining English language programs that prepare students for international opportunities. Private schools offer curricula from various countries, creating educational choices that accommodate diverse cultural expectations and career aspiration. The University of Bahrain provides higher education opportunities that attract students from across the Gulf region while maintaining affordability that serves local families. Engineering, business, and medical programs meet international accreditation standards while incorporating regional perspectives that prepare graduates for careers throughout the Middle East. International schools serve expat families with educational programs that maintain connections to home country curricula while exposing students to multicultural environments that prepare them for globalized career opportunities. These schools often become community centers where families from different countries build friendships and support networks that extend beyond educational relationships. Adult education and professional development programs serve the large expat workforce through language courses, technical training, and certification programs that enhance career prospects. Many employers support continuing education initiatives that strengthen workforce capabilities while creating advancement opportunities for dedicated employees. The combination of safety, healthcare, And education creates social foundations that support family life and community development. Parents feel confident allowing children independence appropriate for their ages, while medical emergencies don't create financial catastrophes that destroy family economic stability. These social services work together to create environments where residents can focus on career development, family relationships, and community participation rather than constantly worrying about personal security or access to essential services. The result is a society that functions smoothly despite rapid change and cultural diversity that might create tensions elsewhere. For anyone considering relocation to Bahrain, understanding visa requirements and cultural expectations can make the difference between successful integration and frustrating bureaucratic struggles. The good news is that Bahrain has created some of the most straightforward entry and residency procedures in the Gulf region. While cultural adaptation proves easier than many newcomers expect, tourist visas demonstrate Bahrain's commitment to welcoming international visitors. Citizens from many countries receive visa on arrival privileges that allow stays up to 2 weeks, with extensions available for additional periods. The electronic visa system enables advanced applications that streamline airport entry processes, while tourism promotion initiatives often include visa fee waivers during peak travel seasons. Work permits integrate with employers' sponsorship systems that provide legal frameworks for long-term residents. Companies hiring international workers handle most visa paperwork, while employees provide documentation including educational credentials, health certificates, and criminal background checks. From home countries, processing times typically range from 2 to 6 weeks depending on position levels and documentation completeness. Residency permits for employed workers include family reunification options that allow spouses and children to join primary visa holders. Family visas enable spouses to seek employment independently, rather than remaining dependent on primary visa holder employment status. Children's visas remain valid through university age, providing stability for families planning long-term residence. The Golden Visa program attracts investors and entrepreneurs through residency options that don't require traditional employment. Sponsorship. These programs target individuals capable of contributing to economic development through business investment, real estate purchases, or specialized skills that benefit Bahraini development goals. Cultural etiquette expectations remain reasonable and respectful rather than restrictive for international residents. Dress codes in public spaces require modest coverage without demanding traditional clothing, while behavior guidelines emphasize respect for local customs rather than complete cultural transformation. Religious sensitivity involves showing respect during prayer times, Islamic holidays, and Ramadan observances without requiring non-Muslim participation in religious activities. Many employers adjust work schedules during Ramadan to accommodate fasting employees while maintaining productivity and respecting cultural diversity. Language requirements remain minimal for most employment sectors, as English usage is widespread in business, healthcare, education, and service industries. Arabic language skills enhance social integration and career prospects, but rarely serve as absolute requirements for professional positions or social participation. Social interaction guidelines encourage friendly engagement while respecting cultural boundaries around family privacy, religious practices, and gender interactions. Building relationships with Bahraini colleagues and neighbors often leads to invitations for cultural events, family celebrations, and social gatherings that provide authentic integration opportunities. Legal considerations for residents include understanding local laws regarding alcohol consumption, public behavior, and commercial activities. While these laws exist, enforcement focuses on public order and community respect rather than strict moral regulation of private behavior. Banking and financial services for international residents operate with modern efficiency and regulatory oversight that protects consumer interests. Opening bank accounts requires standard documentation including passport, visa, employment letter, and initial deposits that vary by bank and account type. Healthcare registration involves obtaining health cards that provide access to public services. while maintaining options for private insurance through employers or independent purchases. Prescription medications, emergency services, and routine healthcare remain accessible regardless of nationality or employment status. School enrollment for international families requires documentation, including previous academic records, health certificates, and age verification. But most schools actively assist families with transition processes that help children adapt to new educational environments and social situations. Housing contracts operate under rental laws that protect both landlords and tenants through regulated procedures for deposits, lease terms, and dispute resolution. Real estate agents often specialize in serving international clients and understand visa requirements, cultural preferences, and budget considerations that affect housing choices. Transportation licensing allows international residents to convert home country driving licenses to Bahraini permits through straightforward testing procedures. Vehicle insurance, registration, and purchase processes operate with consumer protection regulations while accommodating various budget levels and transportation needs. The practical reality of adapting to Bahraini life often proves much easier than newcomers anticipate. The multicultural population means that international residents quickly find communities of people with shared backgrounds, languages, and interests. Professional networks develop naturally through workplace interactions, while social connections form through children's schools, recreational activities, and neighborhood relationships. As we reach the end of this exploration of Bahrain's hidden treasures and surprising contradictions, it becomes clear that this small island nation has achieved something remarkable in the modern world. A genuine balance between honoring ancient traditions and embracing contemporary progress. What makes Bahrain special isn't just its strategic location or economic diversification. Though both contribute to its success, the real magic lies in how Bahraini society has created space for multiple identities to coexist authentically. Traditional Islamic values provide social stability and cultural continuity, while international openness creates opportunities and innovations that benefit everyone. This balance manifests in countless daily interactions, business meetings conducted in Arabic and English simultaneously, shopping malls that close for prayer times while hosting international fashion shows, families that maintain traditional Friday gatherings while embracing global cuisine, and entertainment options. These aren't compromises or cultural contradictions. They are examples of how societies can evolve while remaining true to their foundational values. The economic implications extend far beyond Bahrain's borders as other Gulf countries grapple with oil dependency and social change. Bahrain's model demonstrates how smaller nations can create sustainable prosperity through diversity, inclusion, and strategic positioning. The financial sector's success, tourism development, and international business attraction all result from policies that welcome global participation while maintaining local character. For individuals considering life changes or career opportunities, Bahrain offers unique advantages that larger, flashier destinations cannot match. The cost of living remains reasonable compared to Dubai or Doha, while quality of life indicators often exceed those in much wealthier locations. Professional opportunities exist across multiple sectors, while social environments provide genuine community connections rather than superficial networking. The cultural learning opportunities prove invaluable for anyone seeking deeper understanding of Middle Eastern societies, Islamic traditions, and international business practices. Living in Bahrain provides authentic exposure to Arab culture through daily interactions with local families, colleagues, and community members who welcome genuine interest and respectful engagement. But perhaps most importantly, Bahrain demonstrates that cultural bridges are possible in a world that often emphasizes differences and divisions. Watching Filipino nurses and Bahraini doctors collaborate in hospital settings, seeing Pakistani teachers and British administrators work together in international schools, or observing Indian entrepreneurs and local investors develop business partnerships reveals how diversity can strengthen rather than weaken communities. The nightlife scene, women's achievements, and social freedoms we've explored aren't accidental developments. They array the results of deliberate choices by leaders and communities who understand that progress requires balancing change with continuity, global engagement with local identity, and individual opportunities with collective responsibility. For budget-conscious travelers and potential residents, the $600 monthly lifestyle we discussed isn't just about financial survival. It is about proving that meaningful experiences do require enormous expenditures. The richest aspects of Bahraini life often cost nothing. Sunset walks along Manama Bay, conversations with taxi drivers from around the world, invitations to family celebrations, and friendships that span continents and cultures. The safety, healthcare quality, and educational opportunities create foundations for family life that many Western countries struggle to provide despite much higher costs. Children growing up in Bahrain's multicultural environment develop language skills, cultural awareness, and global perspectives that serve them well regardless of where life eventually takes them. As global migration patterns continue evolving and remote work creates new location possibilities, Bahrain's combination of strategic positioning, cultural richness, economic opportunity, and lifestyle quality becomes increasingly attractive. The visa processes remain straightforward, the cultural adaptation proves manageable, and the community integration happens naturally through shared experiences and mutual respect. The festivals, attractions, and traditions we've explored continue evolving as new residents bring their own celebrations while embracing local customs. This cultural mixing creates constant renewal that keeps Bahraini society dynamic rather than static, contemporary rather than merely traditional. Looking forward, Bahrain's success model offers lessons for communities worldwide struggling with cultural change, economic development, and social integration challenges. The key appears to be creating frameworks that welcome diversity while maintaining core values, that encourage innovation while respecting heritage, and that provide opportunities while ensuring stability. So would you dare to live on $600 in this Gulf kingdom where ancient traditions dance with modern dreams, where conservative Islamic society somehow manages to host secret parties that would make Dubai jealous, and where half the population comes from somewhere else yet everyone seems to belong, where makbous tastes different in every family kitchen, where women drive to university classes while wearing traditional abayas, and where the call to prayer echoes over nightclubs that close at dawn? Bahrain isn't just a country, it has proof that seemingly impossible cultural combinations can create something beautiful, sustainable, and genuinely enriching for everyone involved. Whether you're seeking career opportunities, cultural adventures, budget-friendly living, or simply escape from the ordinary, this hidden kingdom in the Persian Gulf offers experiences that will challenge your assumptions and expand your understanding of what is possible in our interconnected world. The next time someone mentions Dubai's glamour or Qatar's wealth, you'll know about the secret that locals have been keeping, that the real treasure of the Gulf is the tallest buildings or the most expensive cars, but the small island where East meets West, where tradition embraces modernity, and where anyone willing to show respect and curiosity can build a life that is both authentically Middle Eastern and genuinely international. Comment below if this hidden paradise sounds like your next adventure, because Bahrain is waiting to surprise you with stories, flavors, friendships, and possibilities you never knew existed. Subscribe for more journeys to places that challenge everything you thought you knew about our amazing world, and remember, the best adventures always happen where you least expect them.